Well, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite places to shoot Midtown Manhattan, the skyline. If you're looking back at me, you see there's no buildings there, but if I turn around this way, that's where the buildings are. I'm on Oak Bridge. It's right off of West 77th Street. And you get a great shot here with the reflection in the water. You can wander around. There's great vistas all over the place here. Let's take a look. Well, I made my way into New York City this morning to shoot the New York City skyline from one of my favorite locations. I'm going to be there in about 5-10 minutes. Well, I walked over to a place in Central Park called Oak Bridge, and from the middle of the bridge you get a pretty good view of Midtown Manhattan, and there's this nice reflection in the lake in front of the city, so it's a pretty good place to shoot from. So as you can tell, it's pretty dark still. I got here well before sunrise. I wanted to get that nice glow of the city. There is a lot of trees and bushes that sort of frame the shot here, and I'd love to get some detail in there, but it's so dark. Normally what I would do is I would take a flashlight and just paint light into the scene while the shutter is open. This is a very long exposure, it's about 40 seconds. I lost my flashlight, so instead what I did was I brought my flash with me, and I'm just trying to pop off a flash here and there to throw some light onto the scene. I'm going to see if it works a little later, but at least I'm giving it a shot. Well, I've shifted locations. I started off on Oak Bridge, and I shifted over to an area called the Ramble in Central Park. And you can see in back of me, the view is really cool, and it's a little bit more unobstructed versus where I was before. And so I'm trying to get some shots here. Luckily I got a nice calm morning, and so there's a great reflection in the water. I think I'm getting some really good shots. The setup is pretty simple here. Camera on a tripod, just trying to capture both the buildings and the reflection in the frame. Going out to about 15 seconds right now. It's starting to get a little brighter in the sky. I am using a remote shutter release just so I don't have to touch the camera. The other thing I do is use mirror lockup mode, and so it reduces camera shake even more, so you get an even sharper image. I found one other spot that's even less obstructed. I just have to climb over this fence, but you see I got my camera set up already, and this beautiful vista of the city with the water in front getting this great reflection. So typically if you're shooting the skyline of New York, you try to get across one of the rivers, either across the East River in Queens or Brooklyn, or across the Hudson in New Jersey, and you get a great panorama of the city. This is a different kind of spot. I kind of like it, but I would love to hear your favorite spots in the city. Put a comment down below and tell me where you shoot the skyline of New York City. Well, a little detour here. In back of me is the San Remo. It's an apartment building that someone very special to me grew up in. My wife grew up in that building. So I figured I'd stop, take some shots with the reflection. It's kind of a really nice spot. Well, I kept walking a little bit and turned the corner, and I ran into the Bow Bridge, which is back there, which is a real classic Central Park spot. Not a particularly interesting sky, but I figure I'm here, I might as well take some pictures. It's rare that you see with no people on it, so it's nice to get here early when there's no one around. So this is the more classic view of the Bow Bridge. You get down here, you get the bridge in the foreground and the towers of the San Remo in the background. I had to change my lens to get a wider angle. I'm using a 16 to 35 lens now, so I can get the whole scene in. Better to come in the fall, actually, when these leaves are great colors. But since there's no one here, I figure I'd take some shots. Well, I just planned to shoot the skyline. I didn't plan to wander around that much. But since I came over to Bow Bridge, I'm actually not that far from Bethesda Fountain and Bethesda Terrace, which is, I think, the most beautiful place in Central Park. Figured I'd go over there, see if I can get some shots. Again, not a great morning with the sky and the light, but I'm here, might as well give it a try. Alright, well, I made my way over to Bethesda Terrace. Behind me outside is Bethesda Fountain back there. So this is a fantastic part of the park. There's almost always people here. And we got some other photographers down here this morning, but it is just a beautiful structure and a great public space. Well, I'm going to head back. Nice morning here. Got some decent shots, nothing award-winning, but that's okay. It's always nice to be here when there's no one around. Hey, if you like this video, just hit the subscribe button in the lower right. Also, I'd love to hear your ideas of the best places to shoot New York City and the skyline. Put them in the comments below. I'm always looking for inspiration. Until next time.